Hello everyone, I am Minoxen, and this is going to be a Heroes of New Earth commentary on UNGL Nations Cup, where 24 nations are going up for a $1,000 prize pool. This particular installment is going to be Spain versus Sweden, or actually I should say Sweden on the left side, the Legion, being represented there by members of Lion and Online Kingdom and Reason Gaming. And, of course, Spain going to be on the Hellborn then. I am joined with Onaprayer. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Hey guys, hope you're all looking forward to this. UNGL, I really do like their tournaments, so hopefully this one will be just as good. The Nation Cup, I mean, I guess it works out for Han too, right? I mean, there's definitely a lot of players, and when
well,
it comes
I
to
was
Pride,
amazed that 24 nations were able to get, players together on that.
That's
And,
what
of course,
saying.
that's...
And players like Ake, who don't really participate anymore in tournaments, when it comes for Pride for their country, it's like all of a sudden you find them and like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, they come out of the woodwork, and it's neat to see, these players, what country they do represent. I mean, a lot of the times you'll see the American teams or the European teams, and that's basically all that it's divided up into. You'll hear just basically that, and to where now, if you see these people on these teams, they do actually reside and represent those countries. And looks like Sweden here actually has a pretty stacked team, really. Like I said, they do have members from online or former Online Kingdom, since that's I guess Fallen Kingdom's what they go by now, since their sponsor dissolved right before DreamHack, which was very unfortunate. But that team's still having a lot of success here in recent weeks. But they are going to be comprised of Ake, Era, Giftig, My Nuts, of course, I bring my nuts with me everywhere, and Strangby, going to be rounding out their lineup there. So always really nice to see all of those guys together there. Good smattering of different players. Lion finishing very well in the North American Star League and as well in the DreamHack Winter event. Finishing very highly there, along with Online Kingdom. And unfortunately for Spain, we don't have quite as many big names, but of course you recognize Lolquap. I think most people will probably recognize that. I did do a little bit of looking here to try and see if any of these other names here were listed in the Han Wiki. The Han Replays Wiki, by the way, you should go check that out if you want to check and learn a little bit more about your favorite players and some of their history and things. It's a really neat place there. Give big credit to Smock on that for updating that and keeping that up. But did some research there, couldn't find them, but they are higher team matchmaking ranked. Of course, this is post-patch 2.5, so we are now dealing with the lowered PSR, so all of these, the team matchmaking rankings anyways, will be much lower than what they had been prior, but these guys were around the 2,000 bracket. But we do have the bans out here. Do you want to touch on those Onaprayer?
Yeah, sure. Nymphora, Tempest, let's see, Pebbles ban, Tundra ban. Actually, okay, we'll get back to that, but Kraken, Parasite, Demented Shaman, and Plague Rider. I'm really surprised about the Tundra. I actually saw it banned before earlier today, and I'm just really surprised. I just want to know, like, why. Do you know who banned that? I don't have it on my...
Yeah, I do. Tundra was banned by Ake there
Alright,
from Team Sweden.
Alright, so someone on their team plays a really, really, really mean Tundra. Like, it would have to be substantially mean.
Well, Tundra actually had a pretty good showing at the Star League, the North American Star League there.
Oh, really?
Yep, they'd send him mid, and he could pretty much, with a combination, there was a little bit of difference on the build that they went with him, too. Typically, you'd see him focus more on the Coral and the Shiver, but instead he was getting that early Cold Shoulder, so that way he could combo it with his axe, or, well, I can't remember what they're called, but the axes that he throws out there, the icicles in this case. Yeah, the shards there. Throws those out, charges into Cold Shoulder, gets some auto attacks off, and can usually finish the job. But we do have the teams picked out here now, so I'm going to touch on those before I lose track of everyone. We have, on the Legion side, representing Sweden, Ophelia, Midas, Slither, Zephyr, and Polywog Priest lining out their matchup here. And then on the Hellborn side, representing Spain, we have Torturer, Legionnaire, that one's not showing up to me for some reason, Glacius, and Magebane and Pharaoh. I had to check the actual name there. That's peculiar. It's showing up as a white.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Huh.
Where are you in the game? I think it's like
It's just now getting
Slightly.
ready. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are going into the game. I'll be able to tell you in just a second when I finish loading here on this. Be able to tell you better at where I'm at.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit behind. So let me know when you're in game. But
Okay, I'm at 821, 822, 823, 824, 825,
yeah, a little bit
826,
behind.
27, 8,
Let's
29,
see. A
30.
little bit behind. Let me get in game. It's still loading for me.
Whew, boy, apparently something funky's going on with my graphics here because all of these new trees and stuff. Oh, wow. I might have
Okay.
to have us try and pause this. Are the trees and stuff showing up okay for you, or is
It's
everyone's...
still loading for me.
Okay,
So gonna let you know as soon as I get in. And
Alright.
looks like we're about to start. And
Hang on, let me try and pause this.
okay, what are the trees supposed to be?
Do you see the Hellborn trees and stuff here? So, how does this look for you? Do the trees and the Legion side and everything look normal for you, or are they white and fluffy and strange?
They're looking pretty normal.
Okay, well then I apparently have some kind of a Han issue. I'm going to pause this recording and we will be right back. Alright, and we are back. Hopefully that took care of the issues here, as my trees are green and regular, and my Glacius is not nice and glossy and white. But we are going to get this game started here. What do you think of the lineups here so far? Is this? I know it's been a while since you've played Han pretty seriously. I did watch quite a few of the most recent competitive stuff, so I'm kind of a little bit into it. But anything throwing you off here particularly?
Not really. Both teams have a jungler that's capable of ganking. Legionnaire is he brings less to the table in terms of jungle ganks than Ophelia would, since Legionnaire he's pretty reliant on hanging in the jungle from level 1 to, let's say, level 5. Or even, well, at least level 4 until he can actually do something. Until then, he'll be pretty low, and he'll just be farming the jungle for his items, so...
Yeah, I mean, he should be able to, if you do your jungling right, and no one really messes with you, which we do see, looks like the courier up here trying to possibly do some blocking on some camps here or something against them. You know, if you get a Legionnaire who can get that jungle farm, he will be able to keep up and a little bit of an edge on the actual however many minutes there are in the game. He'll be that level or beyond. About 5 minutes into the game, he'll be 6. So
we had a meeting of the birds and
here we go.
Off.
They're going to go ahead and try and block this easy camp, which
that's
is
pretty much
what
the
you
one
want.
you wanna. Yeah, right. You always want to block that one since that's where he typically starts, and you can always double stack that and prepare yourself. You know, I think you get level 2, right, off a double stack small camp.
Yep, if you do the easy camp and get it double stacked there at the 1 minute mark, which unfortunately they are going to block the 30-second one. He wasn't quite paying attention to that. Not going to be able to scare that bird off in time yet. Getting an auto attack off, that'll scare it away for just a little bit until they micro it around to work back on that. So very unfortunate for him, is since that is a really good way for him to get going. If he has any luck here, no. Doesn't look like he does. Oh, actually, if he goes to the hard camp on the far side, he will be able to get that Skeleton King. You can do Skeleton Kings from level 1, but beyond that, it's not an easy thing to jungle as Legionnaire at level 1 if you don't have those easy camps.
Wild Hunters are actually really good. They don't hit as hard as some of the other creeps, so you can do it. It's just you end up being a lot lower health. Anyway, they have a pretty standard lineup. The Zephyr, I've heard that they finally pick him up again in competitive play. He's just really strong, and he's just so scary. You can't let him get farmed, and you can't let him get kills, because if you do, you don't have any way of stopping him.
Yeah, absolutely. He is one of those big, nasty, mean guys that shows up and ruins everyone's fun. A lot like Legionnaire. You know, we saw a lot of that picked up during DreamHack and during North American Star League. Actually seeing him used a few times there to some success, but when you try and counter a Legionnaire really hard early on, it does slow him up, and that's what you have to do, because if he gets built to where he can get plenty of farm, he'll just start showing up in those fights and really taking over.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, no big surprise here. We do see Magebane as well.
Yeah, I heard Magebane too is making a comeback. I remember Wei back in beta when there was. Which team was it? Angel's team. I forgot who. Chappie would remember that team. They really like to run Magebane. Remember they used to like Ghost Marchers on him. I think even Chappie was on that team. If I'm not mistaken. Fifth Angel. Alright, so on Lord. Oh, QUC. Right.
Oh, okay.
pretty sure that was the name of it. Anyway, they're gonna go right onto Polywog Priest, who is gonna actually get creep blocked. Well, not creep blocked, but mage
Body
blocked.
blocked a little bit there, and yep, he is going to be able to make it out using that health pot now to get healed back up. As the bloodlust goes down, distracted. Oh my gosh, I'm missing the.
You have like an epic voice, like a soundbite, and so it begins. Yeah, you don't want. You can't let like Zephyr get a kill. Just leave him in lane because he's gonna get farm anyway. Letting him farm and getting kills. Yeah, it's definitely
dangerous combination. That's to be sure.
So hopefully he'll just stay way in back, and if he actually wants last hits, he'll just use his Agonizing Bonds. I'd actually recommend him keeping Agonizing Bonds level 1, so he doesn't push the lane too far and he can use it to get some last hits, but nobody ever does that, and someone's probably going to say, well, that's stupid. Yeah, it probably is, but at this rate, he's just going to keep feeding. Anyway, so there is just playing a mean game of ICU.
Yeah, he is really doing a good job. I spotted that earlier. He was going in there on that Legionnaire in the jungle, really keeping the harass up on him, making sure that he couldn't, farm comfortably.
Actually,
Slither,
gonna get a nice,
going to be doing a little bit of work here. Midas, who's another hero that we saw, really popular, kind of emerged during DreamHack, just like showing up, and everyone started picking him. He was either first pick or first ban worthy. For the most part, and he still hasn't been really addressed. He hasn't had any nerfs or anything done to him, so still a nice viable hero. Crazy amounts of DPS that he can dish out there with one fell swoop of spells.
Yeah, I was just shocked that they never he has 2 abilities that increase per target hit. So it's just like you have. I think I said it earlier that you have heroes that they have reduced damage per target hit with their abilities, and his gets an increase.
Yeah.
It just doesn't really seem fair. And it's on 2 of them, right? I think his Lion's Pride and Golden Salvo.
Yeah, I was going to say Golden Salvo, I think, has that for each additional... Oh, and I am just so pro. My camera work is off the charts so far this game, as I've missed first and second blood now.
He's definitely trying to get to this Ophelia. Ake is just master juker right here. He may go down. Oh,
maybe setting up a double. But nicely done. As the Cleopatra Pharaoh there, Lulquop, throwing out the the nice Tormented Soul, going to be landing and taking down both of those, picking up the double tap, and that should definitely help him out here in this middle lane a little bit.
Yeah, Mage being going to pick up 2 assists off that as well. That's going to be a nice little bit of gold in his pocket. He didn't actually get the kill, so he's only sitting at 260, but yeah, that was really nice rocket. And sometimes you don't remember that there's that hero on the other team, and it's like maybe we should separate, but they decided to just stick together. Zephyr is actually caught in a fairly awkward position. Torture has come off his wave since it's actually on the tower, so Zephyr is going to actually lose lane experience for nothing right here. But he is level 6, so... Oh, yeah, he's straight up gonna ult the Legionnaire, gonna push him right back into his Cyclones. Well, his big Cyclone, and... yeah.
That will be the end of Legionnaire, so yeah, they are really sticking it to him. They want to make sure that they don't allow him to get any momentum here. They don't want him working on those items. Torture going to come in here with an odd choice of an Impalement right about now. He might be able to pick off Slither, but I don't know if it's going to work out for him in the end. No, it is not, as Zephyr, the Birdman, with all of those tornadoes, going to get the kill off on him before he gets the kill. But hey, I guess he lost his gold, and then he gained a little bit by getting that kill after death.
Legionnaire's going to come in with manliness right here. I don't know if that's the best idea, since he has Cyclones, he can always consume them.
It might not be advised. Ooh, a nice spin there. If he got, I was going to say if he got really super lucky and got a couple quick spins, he might pick him off unawares, but unfortunately, Zephyr, being the big jerk that he is, just going to stay.
What was his problem?
I think he was talking about the 12 twice, the spin counter. I think it's got 11 counter, it spins on the 12th.
Oh, I see.
So, if my Legionnaire is up to par anyways.
I always never like to rely on the luck factor, since I'm not that type of guy. As action at the bottom lane, Glacius goes down yet again from a nasty Ophelia gank. He's just... yeah, he loves his Minotaurs. You'll notice throughout the game, whenever you pan over to Ophelia and his controlled minions, or her controlled minions, it'll always be a Minotaur. He loves those consecutive stuns. In Dota, people actually like picking up the Han version would be the Catman Champion, with the
slow stomp.
An AoE damage slow, and it also has true damage, like attack, I think, or something like that. He hits hard. So I think the AoE is larger too on the stomp. So that was, I think, the preferred minion. I could be remembering wrong, but always solid when you can pick up a Minotaur. I know he's gonna do a little bit of pulling, gonna help out his lane, gonna try to push it back. Polywog Priest is doing just fine though with those very nice kills. So the Amulet of Exile would be going for the Ring of Sorcery. That's what it's used for now, or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go for that. Yeah, because that is part of that. Getting the Ring of Sorcery finished up there.
As
with
we
mana
actually
clicking.
have Pharaoh.
Oh, indeed. Pharaoh getting a nice pick off on Ophelia. Hey, you know, they've got a jungler here. Wonder where he's up to. And actually, that was one of the things I was thinking about getting ready to say here is that, you know, it's amazing how, you know, I've been away from Han for a couple months. I have come back and watched a lot of the games, seen how the meta has changed. And, you know, seeing Ophelia basically as a first pick type situation so many times, and you see her banned so many times is amazing to me in a lot of these games and statistics of tournaments and things. Just how often they just don't want to have to deal with her.
Yeah, pushing is definitely back in style right now. The early game aggressors, the ones who can farm fairly well, push fairly well. Because you have to remember, with her jungle farm and her lane presence and the fact that she's going to be able to push towers really quickly, that's a lot of gold to your entire team. So you can start fighting very early on, as Torture is going to have, yeah...
He's going to go for that Slither kill one more time there, and he doesn't get it in time. So no experience for him, but he does get a little gold on the backside of that death.
And Legionnaire.
Wow, Legionnaire taking tons and tons of damage from that Zephyr. Oh my goodness.
That's the second time he's done that, right?
Yeah, that is. So, yeah, things really not looking good here for Team Spain as Sweden
I was going to try to do something, but he's got like a slew of Cyclones there. That's not really...
Yeah, going to be forced to back out of that. The Hellfire, no matter how pretty it may be, not going to be able to beat a fully Cyclone Zephyr.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of health regen he gets off Cyclones is just... It really is pretty beastly. It's like 30 for each, and he can get like a max of 8 or something. I think he's at his max right now, yeah, 8 and...
Well, what's funny is I was watching streams earlier, and they were talking about, you know, how imba he is and everything, and, you know, I mean, obviously there is a problem, but it's funny to me that, you know, he was considered fixed for so long, too. You know,
No. He was considered fixed, and slightly less strong because he did 50% damage.
Yeah, the 50%, and then they re-upped him again.
To 75%.
Yeah,
right?
And then, you know, that's... You know, obviously he's got a problem again, so it makes you wonder if maybe they shouldn't have gone ahead and edged him back up that little bit, or is it the heal that's the primary problem?
Yeah, the effective health he gets when he hits level 4 in his Cyclones, 8 Tornadoes, 30 health each. He gets an extra 240 health if he has max Cyclones, which is pretty much like well on his way to an actual Helm of the Black Legion, so it's kind of... It is a bit much, and then he can of course regen them off his ultimate. So not only can he get them off creeps pretty easily because he kills them very fast right now, but he also gets them off his ultimate. They generate them, so it really is. At least they nerfed it where it doesn't give him max immediately.
Yeah, that I do remember that. That is a little ridiculous.
You could use your entire inventory of Cyclones, and then after you're done, you could pop your ultimate and then do it all over again. So 440 health instantly, pretty much.
Jeez.
That was pretty nice.
Way too strong. Way too strong.
480, I think. Actually. But anyway, that was definitely nerfed. And that was a good one. But I just think the health regen that he gets per Cyclone.
So I mean, yeah, if we're talking, which is kind of what I was wanting to bring up to you, is what do you think that he needs to have done to him? Because you know he was nerfed to the point where they're like, okay, that's a little too drastic. Let's bring him back up a bit. But apparently it seems like the heal is the biggest issue there, so would you have him drop that heal in half, or, I mean, where would you go? As bottom, we're going to see initiation. Pharaoh getting a nice ultimate off there. Ophelia throwing the heal out to try and save her teammates. Not going to be enough, though, as Ophelia and Midas both going down there. Pharaoh dropping on the Hellborn side. A pretty decent initiation going out there, but unfortunately not going to pan out too well for him, as Glacius going to fall as well. Legionnaire to fall, and Zephyr gonna just be there to clean up in the end.
Magebane does not want to fight that. He's gonna make his way out of there. He can't even auto attack.
Didn't start out too bad. I mean, you know, they had a couple of kills on the Legion side there. You're like, okay, this could maybe work out.
I used to play Zephyr as a counter to Kronos. He would ult you, ready to try to hit you and just kill himself. Attacking you because your Cyclones, yeah. I don't know, I guess it's a combination maybe. Maybe the damage on the Cyclones for heroes plus the heal on it. I don't know. He definitely gets so much built-in damage early on in the game that if you're gonna compare him to other, like if you're gonna call him a hard carry and you're gonna compare him to other hard carries, like he's not a right-click carry, so I don't know what you want to call him exactly. But if you want to compare him to other agility carries, he definitely has way too much damage early on in the game. So they have to balance it out. The thing is, as a carry, you basically rely on his abilities more than the items. You just tank up, so it really is difficult for them to balance him properly, because you can't balance him to the point where his abilities are useless, because then he's a useless hero, because items aren't his thing. So I really don't know. Just try to tweak his numbers and they'll have to see at what point he isn't overly strong, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious so far this game that he is, 7-0 and 2. Any hero with that kind of farm is going to be ridiculous to be able to start to slow down here a little bit. So, it's definitely not the best situation for him. But again, if the reason that he's 7-0 is because of that extra survivability and, his general tankiness that he has there, along with his quick farm that he can get with that Helm of the Black Legion and working his way up to more survivability. But
as Ophelia ultimate went off, I'm not sure. Maybe she just wanted to heal her creeps.
Yeah, I was trying to actually... Where's she at? She's got a couple creeps falling. I didn't think that they were all that hurt. Zephyr was a little bit hurt, but didn't...
Misclick, maybe?
Yeah, could be.
Alright, so Polar Priest actually had a pretty easy time at bottom lane with the Ophelia gang. So they're actually gonna group up and push with the Slither. Is he maxing his wards? Let me see. He's got 2 in spray and 2 in wards, so... kind of going the diverse route, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit of a hybrid.
I'm not sure they're going to fight this, though. They really
actually, middle, we see Pharaoh getting tanked on by this Zephyr. Zephyr trying to get the run down, but a nice freeze coming from Glacius, and the mummy, Wall of Mummy's not even really needed. But Zephyr's like, hey, there's still food to be had here.
And they're running.
And yeah. There we go. This might be a good opportunity for Zephyr to get some extra kills here.
There we go.
Gets turned into turkey dinner. I mean, it only took 4 of them.
Yeah, and he couldn't use his Cyclones, he couldn't regen him. Like I always say, the best way to counter him is either to stun lock him so he can't regen either Cyclones, or to get a Health Flower, and then he won't be able to evade anything, and he won't be able to use a Cyclone.
This is the second tower here at top that they've taken down, isn't it? Did they just go ahead and push 2 in a row? Wow,
yeah, well,
thanks to that Zephyr distraction. Yeah.
Definitely paid off right there. So, I said that he was only going to pick up Minotaurs. I was not entirely accurate because he picked up a Skeleton King, but maybe he'll he'll throw it at them as a sacrificial lamb and then he'll pick up Minotaur.
Oh, look at this Mage Bane. He cannot find Slither here. If he could just... Oh, no! If he could just find... They're doing the old juke dance. Gotta love those trees. Oh, no. We need to get some Benny Haney music or something going here. Slither gonna slip out the backside. Oh, wow, and he makes it out alive. I guess Magebane just finally figuring, hey, if I've been in here this long, his teammates are going to be showing up pretty soon, so I might want to get out of here.
But wow. Insane jukes. It's actually pretty simple, because from when he sees you until you can auto-attack, it's actually better not to move. You can A-click into the areas, and then as soon as you see him, you'll end up attacking him right away.
Oh, a nice transmute there as Midas was able to go ahead and finish off Glacius pretty quickly with Magebane and Glacius going on him at the same time. But as he portal keyed away, portal key away there, he managed to catch Magebane with that transmute. But unfortunately, Pharaoh was there with a nice ultimate, getting ready to jump in and catch him on the backside. So.
Obviously not a worthwhile trade, Midas for Glacius, but... Alright, he wanted it real bad. But what was that middle saying? Yeah, I think it still works here. If you A-click, and then immediately once they come into your vision, you'll auto-attack. But even then, maybe he went out of line of sight. Because if you're just moving around, from when he gets to sight, he can always duck back down into the fog. And then you'll just end up just playing, I was going to say Ring Around the Rosie, but no one remembers that.
Oh, I do, but I won't admit that, so... Looking at the gold per minute tab here, we are seeing Zephyr sailing way above everyone else at 508 gold per minute, followed up there by Midas at 345, Magebane at 301, and then kind of Polywog Priest and Torturer doing a little bit of a dance there back and forth.
What did Polywog go for? He actually had Amulet of Exile, but he hasn't gone for a second Ring of Sorcery. Is there only one allowed per team? I don't know about rules.
I don't know in tournament matchups if that's limited. I don't think so, but
I thought it was at one point, but maybe.
Well, I know that there's some tournaments where they limit CC items primarily. But as far as like mana clickies or other
like
things like that, like heals,
astrolabes
yeah, astrolabes and that sort. There's not too many tournaments that I've seen where that's an actual written rule to say, okay, you can only have one of those. Whereas something like CC, which
CC
demonstrated there, as Zephyr gonna throw out the ultimate here, trying to pick up a few extra kills, as he's going to be chasing around this Legionnaire, wanting to ruin his day just a little bit more. But so far, Team Spain on the winning edge of this since Magebane's back in the fight. Yeah, he did go ahead and buy back. He was CC'd right from the beginning and got picked off.
Yeah, he got netted by the Skeleton, and then he got stunned by the Minotaur. And there we go. Zephyr might get caught.
Yep, Legionnaire did catch him, but unfortunately Magebane not paying any attention to that Zephyr whatsoever. Does go ahead and finish off the Midas, but the slow here from Glacius might be enough to be able to finish off the Zephyr. Yes, it is. They do go ahead and get the kill onto Zephyr. Now Ophelia trying to catch up to this very low HP Torturer.
What's he doing? No.
No! Oh, so much big plays going on here. One more auto attacks, all it's going to take. There we go. Ophelia goes down. Big balls here on this Torturer, running to go ahead and grab that regen, even though it was pretty much guaranteed he wasn't going to get much from it. But, yeah, I guess that, hey, it worked out, and there we go. Team Spain getting back into this, evening it up to 15 and 15 on the kill count here. Of course, you still have Zephyr with a really strong farm going, still at 478 gold per minute, not quite the 500 that he was, but still respectable.
Right? He's got like huge meatballs right now. Alright, so yeah, Midas is just, they have so much disable from Magebane. That really is what it comes down to. You have all the disables from Polywog. You have the Midas disable, 2-second stun. You have Ophelia with her minions if she manages to pull that off. So, and then of course you have Zephyr with his huge amount of AoE. That if he chooses to actually 1v1 Magebane, I can't see Magebane winning with his current items. I mean, all he has is Helm of Black Legion. Destroying Zephyr's mana pool won't really do much since he'll just tank anyway.
Doesn't it take mana to absorb your tornadoes, right?
I think they removed that. It used to way back in the day. I'm pretty sure it's removed.
I'm not sure that it does anymore. Yeah, and you can't tell on that, I don't think. Activate to consume. It doesn't show a mana cost.
It did used to, and like really way back. And then I think they removed that. Like, I'm gonna say like over a year ago already, but I couldn't.
Wow, I'm just showing my old school game knowledge here, I guess, then. As we got Poly lined up here top, hoping to be able to land something on the Magebane, but Magebane getting out of there wisely, does go ahead and TP out, head back to base. Midas also showing up here top, not going to be able to find anyone, though. Maybe going to find an unsuspecting Legionnaire if he makes his way over there to do a little bit of jungle farm, but Legionnaire, how is he doing in the gold per minute farm? He is at 234, which, hey, that's a lot better than what he could be. He could be down there with Glacius at 100, but...
Completed phase boots instead of Helm of Black Legion.
There we go, and there's the Helm of the Black Legion. Sometimes, really, you don't have to have that Helm of the Black Legion totally completed for, he wasn't getting a strong farm, and unless you're going to be doing really big stacks of creeps or being right in the center of a team fight, which, if you don't have your Helm of the Black Legion, you probably shouldn't be. I myself will bypass that and go ahead and get the phase boots, so that way you can get that little bit easier, quicker farming. Because you'll still be able to absorb the damage with just the basic parts of Helm of the Black Legion. We're going to see is that a triple stacked Ancients there going down? I think it is, as Magebane going to be picking that farm up. That'll be a nice little bit of addition onto his already decent farm. As he decides lane farm is better.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can always come back to that.
And he should be able to get a stack off. I think he killed off enough of those he can get a stack off whenever he goes back in there if he decides to. But, uh-oh, Big Birdman coming along. Gonna finish up the partially completed stack here, getting 2 of the Dragon Masters. Oh, actually, these are all 3 Dragon Masters, so he is gonna pocket about 600 gold here off of this nice triple stack Masters for him. Oh, man, that is so unfortunate.
22-minute Helm of Black Legion, investments, phase boots, and... Mako Billion, so he's
at about 519 gold per minute. That seems accurate.
He's a fat turkey. If I ever saw him,
actually not. Is he? No, he's not sporting the turkey skin. That's peculiar.
Yeah, I was told by Smock that it was a turkey repeatedly, and apparently it's turkey despite the hooting sound. Could have sworn I heard, but
Well, see, I love how S2 decided to save a little bit of effort there. Said, hey, we'll just, keep all of his normal, chat things in there. It's like, if the wind allows, those kind of things. But we'll just throw in a little extra gobble gobble at the end of each one of his phrases, and it makes him a turkey. So.
Oh, is that how it happened? Oh.
Yeah, it's basically that, where it's he'll say something, then you'll hear the little.
Oh, okay.
Except for his ultimate. I think his ultimate is pretty much just a bunch of turkey clucking. So.
Well, that makes sense, I guess. So Catman actually doesn't have that effect. Could be I'm like totally mistaken about the
true damage thing. Yeah, I didn't know where you're coming with that.
Not the true damage. I forgot what it's called. Someone will know what I'm talking about. Anyway, point is he hits harder than the Minotaur.
Oh, as Kongor being attempted here, the Ophelia creeps were doing a nice bit of work there, but of course the Hellborn did come on to this, and they are moving down here trying to position themselves to stop this. But Magebane, wow, I don't know how he did not spot that, but that Slither Ward was pecking at him that entire time as he was waiting to jump in. So, Zephyr trying to get a gust off, not going to be able to do so. Legionnaire running away from Zephyr as he should, as Torturer not running away, decides he's going to throw up the Impale and try and stay as best as he can out of the Zephyr ultimate, trying to escape now. Don't know if it's going to work out. A big team fight going down here. 2 of the Hellborn already down. There goes another one for the Legion, as we are going to see Legionnaire trying to run down Slither. Nope, decides he's good to go. Going to head on out. Glacius ultimate going out. Gets a kill. And Magebane goes down once again, so. Ouch. Just plain ouch.
He's gonna try to get the kill onto Slither. He may get him, yeah, but that's.
Oh, and Legionnaire showed up.
Yeah.
He's like, what is that, a hat trick? Can we turn that into a quad kill? Is that possible? As wow, he is moving pretty quick with that haste. I'm gonna just, book it on out of there. The Ophelia creep coming up to help Zephyr with the Ancients one more time. So, wow, I mean, we're sitting here, it's 24 minutes into the game, we've got about an 8,000 gold lead in favor of the Legion, and actually, surprisingly, a 2,000 experience lead in favor of the Hellborn right now.
2,000, well, they actually had a decent amount of team fights, because the gold advantage would come from all the tower pushing, and the experience advantage would come from the fact they got a lot of kills, they got a lot of pickoffs with 2 or more of their teammates present, so that does give them a little bit of an edge there, but it's really not all that much right now. And you gotta figure that like Zephyr alone is, I mean, he's level 19. So look at the other team, and they have like a more normalized levels, but Zephyr is level 19.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous how well he's been doing here. As he has his Mach, he also has picked up a Soul's Bulwark. Currently has it in the positive armor setting, but probably going to be switching that over at some point whenever these team fights get going. Or he might keep it on the positive, just to keep his tankiness as tanky as possible, as Might is going to wipe out a creep wave here in middle. Magebane catching the poison spray from Slither. Don't think they're going to be able to follow it up, though, as Magebane will just slowly limp away.
Yeah, so let me just take a quick. He's going for not the Manta.
You mean Geo? Or
yeah.
Okay.
He's going for Geometer Beam. He picked up the Blessed Orb earlier on. He wanted to just get the extra stats instead of getting the.
Is it called Manta style in Dota still?
Yeah, I don't even know. I just always refer to it as that.
And does it still have mana burn? That's so ridiculous.
That thankfully they removed a long time ago. Even when I was playing, they had already removed it, and they changed the component.
That was my favorite thing to do on.
To include the Yasha, on Phantom Lancer. That was just really dumb.
Well, him and the Naga Siren, I loved doing on her. You net them, and then you split, and then you just burn all their mana while they're held helpless.
And then you just see the crits fly, like literally just the red, like the crit numbers.
Yeah. Absolutely. As we did unfortunately see Pharaoh go down in the bottom lane, we did go ahead and have him picked off. Poor Lolquap, captain of Team Spain here, being picked off. As the Legion now trying for a Kongor, it is in fact spotted by the Winged Courier. They do know that it's going on. Are they going to be able to do anything about it? Ophelia playing nice interference there. Going to force Magebane to blink down into the Slither Wards now, which is nicely placed to keep him back and not going to let him get anywhere near this Kongor while they're doing it. but still yet not going to stop this courier from, trying to taunt him into a good fight here.
Yep. So they're coming actually from both sides. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it, but I guess with Zephyr, if they split up, it's maybe more effective, but they have to...
Oh, boy. Oh, and he goes in to try to get the snag, but unfortunately it does not work, as it usually never does. And they are probably going to get turned around on here pretty... Wow! Actually, Zephyr goes down pretty quickly. Going to come back with the token. Gets the finishing move off onto...
Torture, you beast.
What did he...
He tableted up on the cliff so they couldn't see him, and then he TP'd out.
Sneaky baga.
Yeah. So
yeah, two for... Technically, it was a 3 for 2, but Zephyr luckily had the token. The token has been nullified now. So the experience in gold, I guess, still in the favor of the Legion team for the Kongor kill, but nothing really happening because of the token there. So 2 for 2 going out. You lost Polywog, Priest, and Ophelia for a Pharaoh and Glacius. Now, I'd probably say that it was almost even, except for the...
So it definitely helped him out with his farm.
What's that?
Mazebane got his Firebrand off those, and he's probably pretty close.
Oh, okay. Off of the assists and kills? Okay, yeah. Gotcha. I was wondering what got it off of what? The snipe Kongor? I don't get it. Oh, and we see the demonic breastplate finished up for Zephyr. He bought it. I don't know when he's going to put it on, but at least the recipe was bought or something, because I saw it fly off to the side there. Has not picked it up yet, but most likely will soon.
When you have 560 plus GPM, you can do things like that.
Yeah, you can. You just pick up a few $1,000 item. Go ahead and just finish that off. Wow, Zephyr up to 568 gold per minute. I think the only time that I've seen someone climb above 600, I think it's 650 is what I saw, and I think that was Choose Magebane back in the day.
No, there was a famous game with, Raiko was also famous for having like a crazy Magebane with like a crazy GPM. Someone will actually tell me the number. I don't want to say it because I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember he had that. There was also a game where Josh P was playing Forsaken Archer, I think it was.
Really? Forsaken?
Or maybe it was, I think it was either Forsaken or Soulstealer. I'm pretty sure it was Forsaken Archer though. And in 30 minutes, he had like a crazy GPM. And someone will tell me what that was, but it was really insane. So,
well, I mean, still, not to belittle poor little Zephyr here. I mean, it has been done before, but we're looking at 567 gold per minute on that Zephyr, and that is very impressive. I mean, broken hero or not, that's that takes some dedication.
Yeah, most definitely. The ability to walk in there and walk next to people and.
Oh, so unfortunate.
Nice.
The Storm Spirit being used there to try and save Midas. Not going to be able to be enough, though, as they are going to go ahead and catch Strangby as well. Level 16 Magebane, hoping to be able to catch up to someone. Nope, going to go ahead and turn it around, finish off a few wards. But man, oh man.
That Storm Spirit came from his teammate, right?
Yeah, it had to have been, I think. Yep, it came. No, actually, Midas himself has it. And Polly has one, so it could have been from either. But Polly's is on cooldown, so I'm guessing it was his.
Yeah, definitely nice usage right there. Pharaoh
did waste the Pharaoh ultimate. I mean, it's going to be up here pretty soon, but that was definitely a nice attempt. Unfortunately, there was enough follow-up to catch him after the fact.
Yeah. Lame. Them follow-ups. Alright, so Zephyr is, he's not going to die anytime soon. Slither went for, what did he go for? Where is he? Can't click. There we go. Tablet of Command, it looks like he's got a Neophyte's book. I'm not sure what he wants to turn that into. We'll say maybe Puzzle Box.
Could be.
But we'll just have to wait and see. As Astrolabe picked up on Ophelia, that's pretty typical. Got a Headdress, which is not exactly typical, but...
Whenever I had seen her, they would go ahead and farm her up for the Burial Idol. If she's getting decent farm, if they're ahead in the game, they'll go for the Burial Idol.
If she's that farm,
on Ophelia. It heads up. And she also has the Ring of the Teacher. She might go ahead and make that into a Gnome's Wisdom at some point here. Or move something else different there with it. But that's kind of what we've been seeing on them as far as pickups go.
He got some pretty good items too. He's one of those heroes that his abilities give him the bulk of his damage, so he doesn't actually need damage items. That's always nice.
Well, I mean, with 2 moves, you can chain down a creep wave instantaneously. I mean, until really, really late game, it's not going to take any more than that.
Yeah.
So.
I guess spell shards would be decent on him. I don't even know what
I
people
think
get.
it's listed in his recommendeds, but of course recommendeds don't
Yeah,
necessarily mean competitive. But
pretty much. Well, you kind of want utility items, so spell
yeah.
shards isn't really utility. I guess spell shards would be for hero like pebbles or something. So you can avoid that and maybe fade. I can't really think of that many heroes that would want them. Parasite, I guess.
Oh, and speaking of Fade, I don't think that she was banned this game, was she?
Don't think so.
Which is kind of one of those interesting things because a lot of the time I've been seeing it here lately to where they will allow the mage ban, because there was at one point actually during the NASL to where it was a gentleman's agreement to auto ban mage bane. To where they said, okay, look, we won't pick him, you won't pick him, let's just do this. As Legionnaire getting caught out, they are focusing him down there, gonna go ahead and try and chase him off, but Pharaoh with the counter initiation tries to get in there and do some work. Unfortunately gets caught off onto this Midas, getting frozen up in the transmute. Will they be able to finish the job? No, it looks like the Hellborn's gonna have to reorganize and meet up back inside base. But wow, that's a hell of a net gain of 0.
Yeah. Puzzle box was used from Pharaoh. What level was that? Level 2, not bad. See,
Well,
and I don't
part of
think
the
they're
big
gonna
thing
stop
here
them.
is
They have no
you've got the
cooldown.
heal from Midas. A nice jump in from Legionnaire. Does get the decapitate off. Does finish off Zephyr as well. A 3 for none going out here. Excellent work from Legionnaire. Getting a lot of work done as we've got Mage Bane gonna go ahead and try and finish off Slither. Does do it. That is a huge turn of events in favor of this Spanish team here. Going to be hopefully taking home victory for Spain as they're trying to charge down this poor little Ophelia. But yeah, wow, the power of a Legionnaire initiation.
If he was pro right now, he'd pop his Yamato Bane and use his illusions to block.
You can just use those for DPS anyways, right?
Yeah.
That worked.
Cheating.
Cheating. So, wow, there we go. The Genocide going out onto the Legion team here. Team Sweden in a little bit of trouble. Going to lose this tower out here at the front of their base. Don't know that too much follow-up's going to be had of it. I mean, you know, Zephyr will be up in about 40 seconds. So they have
in a real big hurry.
they have a pretty good chance here to do some damage on the defense tower. Otherwise, they might want to go ahead and turn it around, but they have the one-player advantage, and Legionnaire going to jump in there like a crazy bandit, going on that Slither. A nice Storm Spirit being used on that Mage Bane to save Slither. Mage Bane going a little too deep here. I think they need to focus on a little bit more of the base instead of going after heroes, taking all that extra damage. But you know, still doing tower damage. Zephyr is up in 6 seconds, so they got to do their work now. There we go, the Decapitate coming off onto Midas. Going to keep him out of this, and you know, Midas, with all of that crazy burst damage he has, is such a big influence in these team fights where he can throw that out and just, you know, that transmutes everyone and then forces them to eat the rest of the damages. Zephyr, essentially canceled out the nice push stick, but they are going to be able to save their melee racks and come up for a good defense here. I think that, yeah, that was definitely a good exchange going out for the Hellborn as a tower goes down bottom as well. So that nice little influx of gold. Going to be some new items here picked up. There they go. Axe of the Malphite picked up on, that is what it's named, right? Yeah, on Torturer, as well as Soul's Bulwark being picked up on Legionnaire, which is a very nice pickup for him.
This game turned around in a big hurry. Shout out to Legionnaire. That was...
Yeah, that was an absolutely huge grab there. He had his barbed armor up and stuff, and hey, you know, I was saying it all from the beginning there. That's why you got to try and keep Legionnaire down. But unfortunately, even keeping him down this long, you know, if he can get back into the jungle, can get it to where they're not focusing him down constantly, staying in his jungle, messing with him, he can get to be a force to be reckoned with, especially with Soul's Bulwark now. Those spins will do so much damage.
Yeah, and give it an equal fight right now. Aside from Zephyr, they need Zephyr to be able to run in there and throw out his ultimate and distract everyone. If he can do that properly, they can win. The problem is that Mage Bane can blink right past Zephyr, and as you know, as can Legionnaire if he doesn't get caught in the Mocker Brilliance aura, then he can use Portal Key and get past him and kind of initiate on the squishier targets. But even if he jumps on Zephyr, if they manage to see him long enough, they can kill him with his ultimate before he can do anything. But that's really their only form of initiation, is Zephyr just running in there and throwing out his spells while...
Well, it was kind of an
Hellborn
interesting
team
choice for them to go
had
ahead and
more
go into
abilities.
that. After they had the big team fight outside of the base where Zephyr used his ultimate and stuff, and they went in and came back out.
It worked
and
both ways. because
I guess there were some other ultimates that were used there, but Zephyr's has to be one of the biggest there. I mean, you got to rely on that. And I mean, Pharaoh still had his, or it came back up by the time that fight was.
Well, Poliwag had his
around.
wards up, so maybe they just wanted to push with it because he
True.
did lay them down on the tower. So they probably figured they would just run in there. I'm not sure about Slither's ultimate. I think it was used in the prior fight. So yeah, they were missing that as well. So I don't, like you said, I'm not really sure either why they decided to rush it. I thought they would be fine still. I didn't see that Legionnaire coming in and pulling off a huge play like that. Then again, they did kind of misplay. The fact that he was able to catch a few of them when the only melee hero they have on Legion team is Zephyr, that was kind of a misplay.
Yeah, well, he took advantage of the moment of, Polly was running up there to be able to throw his wards down, and I can't remember who the other one was that he caught up there, but I can only imagine they were just trying to get some position for some long-range harass. But, yeah, I mean, you capitalize on a moment like that, get your barbed armor off, especially with a Zephyr with Cyclones and Mock of Brilliance and things, where you're reflecting back all that damage. It adds up pretty quick.
Yeah, but it was more of a misplay on Sweden's part. The fact that they grouped up with only one melee hero, that should never really happen. As Pharaoh,
Pharaoh using the Invis, yeah, getting a nice catch onto Midas there, is going to be able to try and chase him down. Push stick being used onto him. The Ophelia ultimate coming out as well. Will they be able to finish Midas off? Oh, he's going to escape narrowly. As meanwhile, in the middle, we've got a little bit of a fight going down. Oh, a barrier idol being used on the Hellborn to help absorb a lot of that Zephyr ultimate. Are they going to be able to take down the mighty Zephyr? The Storm Spirit used on him to keep him out of the fight for a little bit longer while they work this Magebane down. Magebane being forced to back out of the fight. Will the wards focus on him? Yes, they do! Not paying attention as he runs past him. And, wow, that was very, very unfortunate. Not paying attention as those wards, it's like, hey, he's going to walk right by those, isn't he? Yeah. So, man, not the best thing going for...
Like, no.
He does go ahead and get the immediate buyback. And hoping to be able to make some use, I guess, of the disadvantage in numbers.
They want to go Kongor. Very nice. So he's going to use that. That's good. I thought it was a rage buyback, but nope. He's going to use the Hellfire from Pharaoh, hopefully, maybe, sometime soon, to mini-stun Kongor. Does it not work anymore?
No, it does. I'm pretty sure it does.
Then why?
Not sure.
Why?
Maybe he's wanting to save it for whenever he ulties and decides to Hellfire someone. I'm not particularly sure. Maybe that was changed and I just don't realize it, but last time, I remember a recent game where we did that. We had the Pharaoh using his Hellfire. I know a lot of things don't work on Kongor anymore, but I'm pretty sure that Hellfire is one of them.
Yeah, I thought it was just negative auras that don't work.
Yeah, Shield Breaker and all those other things don't work on him either, I think, too, so.
That was strange, but okay. There was a method to that madness, I'm sure. Maybe
yeah, they can take a little more damage.
To come in from the Legion team and he was gonna, like you said, he was gonna jump on them and make big plays, but in the end, I'm just left a little confused. Anyway, Zephyr is farmed up. He's got his Behemoth's Heart right now. Polywog Priest actually hasn't picked up any items, so I think most of the team really hasn't picked up an additional item since we last looked. Polywog's sitting with the same items. Slither's got a Storm Spirit as well, so 3 Storm Spirits on their team.
Yeah, big Storm Spirit plays coming out here so far this game. I guess they're best, I mean, like particularly that time, throwing Zephyr up out of the fight there was actually kind of nice because, his ultimate's still going to be doing damage whether he's on the ground or not. And, since Magebane was pretty quickly dropping, that worked pretty well. And, hey, even though Magebane was going to make it out alive, unfortunately he did happen to pass by those wards and get picked off by a wary Polywog Priest willing to
all part
switch
of his
those over.
plan.
Yeah.
Alright, so he's actually, wow, how much gold does he have? Even after that buyback, he should still have quite a bit. Where is
yeah,
it?
6,000?
Yeah,
so
just that. He probably wants to buy something outright.
Keeps that in a shoebox under his bed.
Wondering if he wants to go for Symbol of Rage or he wants to go for... Well, it wouldn't be a wing bow since there's really no straight up DPS, but he could go for the monkey bar. What's it called?
Savage Mace.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. It's just been a really long time since I've casted it.
No, you're fine. I sometimes slip back to the old Dota names too, especially since you probably have played a little bit of Dota 2. And I don't. Do they use the same names back from Dota?
I
for
don't even
items
look.
and stuff?
I just call them what I always call them.
The old BKBs and etc.
Yeah.
As Magebane following up a nice Pharaoh ultimate going to come in here. Nice transmute going out though as well. Going to catch those guys, not allowing them to finish the job. As Ophelia narrowly escaping, getting out of there. Will should be able to survive. Magebane going to get the kill. But at what cost, truly, indeed, there, as his token is used. Will he come back with a vengeance? Yes, he will. Going to be taking down this Zephyr with rapid-fire succession as the Decapitate finishes the job. And now Slither. Oh, man, there's the... Oh, did he go ahead and pick up the Frost? Yeah, he did pick up the Frost Wolf, which is actually quite nice here on Melee Hero these days.
Yeah, definitely a nice pickup. So, he's hitting hard, he's hitting fast, he's really strong, and he's looking pretty set to carry this game.
Well, it is one of those things to where you've got like Swindle Melons. I know they were talking about it in UNGL, etc. That their little strategy book was titled "Ban Magebane," and that's pretty much the entirety of all of their different picking strategies and everything was ban Magebane. So definitely coming into play here a little bit as this Magebane really facilitating the comeback for this team. I mean, some big plays coming off from Legionnaire there that really allowed them to get those team fights turned around. But, they still wouldn't be anywhere in this game if it weren't for Magebane being able to get as beefy as he is now and being able to fight one-on-one against like this Zephyr or a good variety of these other heroes.
Actually, the same items that people would get in Dota. They would just get a Vanguard and a Manta all the time.
As the Storm Spirit spam continues. Apparently there must not be a CC limit in this tournament.
I don't know. Yeah, because they just...
they've got 3 of them, so...
Yeah.
But definitely, I mean, hey, gotta give them credit for that. That was some impressive play there, as they did get the bottom rack set and the melee barracks in the middle. So that is going to put this Swedish team at a major disadvantage for a long time to come. I mean, they've already been losing the team fights for the last good while, and I can only imagine that this is going to be a really big nail in that coffin for them.
Yeah, the Behemoth's Heart picked up. Well, he had the components a while ago, but he completed, I'm not sure when. The full Behemoth's Heart on Torture, yeah. He's got 3k gold on top of that. The Legionnaire has over 5k gold on top of his items. He's probably going to want to go for... Actually, I don't know if he wants to go for the entire breastplate. Doesn't really need it, but I mean, at this point, if he wants to keep his teleport, he's gonna pick up the completed breastplate.
Yeah, and it'll give a little bit of extra attack speed to Magebane too. So nothing.
Well, Pharaoh has the barbed armor as well right now,
which is important because he's been dying the first person in every team fight. As here's a nice, there we go, Pharaoh getting a nice pick off there, going to be able to divide up Zephyr from the rest of his team. Are they going to be able to make anything in this team fight? As we already see one go down, there goes Ophelia, there goes Polywog Priest. Are they going to be able to chase him down? As the Glacius ultimate doing a little bit of work. As here we go, Legionnaire coming out. The Bearer Idol was used. Midas getting chased down now. There we go. This should be it. There is the genocide in favor of Team Spain. So, wow. They are well. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to take this top set of racks. I don't see any buybacks coming out here.
Yeah, well, most definitely. That's just the point of 2 farm, 2 beefy. I mean, you have Legionnaire 2 beefy, you have Torture 2 beefy. And it's just really, even Zephyr, at the point where his AoE damage stops being as effective, because he snowballs really hard and he's pretty much unstoppable for the most part, but then you have the Frostwolf Skull.
That was always the discussion, though, on Zephyr that I always remember, too, was that he kind of plateaus. I mean, he gets crazy effective for a good long while, but then he kind of plateaus to a point.
But with the way the teams are played these days, it usually is pushing hard and fast early on.
True. So you don't ever have to worry about that plateau point.
Yeah, so if you kind of go past that, then you kind of failed in your strategy. So it's not so much that...
Zephyr's, not balanced, or however you want to put it, just because he doesn't succeed late game. It's that they didn't maximize their efficiency in their strategy. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was steamrolling.
Oh yeah, he was rocking that game hard.
But at a certain point, they did fail. Whether or not they allowed themselves to die too many times, or they pushed too hard in a situation where they didn't have the advantage,
or mispositioning themselves so that way Legionnaire could grab them. And
yeah, stuff like that, where they obviously made some key mistakes in this game. Where you could point out, like, all right, they made those mistakes, and that really turned the tide for the Hellborn team. Otherwise, like, Zephyr as a hero, for what he does in the current metagame, I think it is still like a bit too strong. This game notwithstanding, but it was
Well,
fun to
yeah.
watch.
I mean, especially since they had the triple heal factor going. You know, they did have the heal factor coming out from essentially Zephyr himself. You also had Midas. You had Ophelia. All those different opportunities to be able to heal up. So it's just so much. And a character like Ophelia too is one of those that can do a lot early game, but if you let it get to 50 minutes, she's not going to be all that effective. So, very unfortunate there for Team Sweden, but it was enjoying to watch that comeback as we did see Spain win game number 1 of this matchup. It is a best of 3 series of Spain versus Sweden. So far, we are going to see Spain up 1 game. Do you have any finishing thoughts before we move on to game 2?
Nope, was definitely a fun game to watch.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you in game 2.